Hi there! Today I have new fashion for you. I got a new bundle of doll clothes and I will show you if they are well made or not so well made and who can wear it. My order arrived with two gifts, so I didn't buy these blue shoes. And I have a couple of these because they are often included when I buy from the shop. And this cute set here is new. I have not seen it before and I do like it. I have to say, I'm used to buy from the shop, the sale goods store, for a couple of years, and in earlier years the gifts were better, but still, this year is definitely a nice set, so I'm surprised and happy because it was for free. And also everything else that I ordered is included, so I think this time it is a good mix between elegant fashion and maybe a bit sporty or casual, and I hope you like it. So let's start with the free gift. It is a two-piece set and it is also surprisingly well made. I thought that the fabric of the skirt would be very cheapy and very thin, but that's not the case. It even does not feel so plasticky, and also the top is nice. It is well sewn and it is quite stretchy. The skirt is not stretchy at all, but also here the stitching is good. And of course, there is this blue pair of shoes, and in case you're not new here, you have seen it before. Here it is on standard Barbie mtm. The fit is okay. This skirt is already a bit snug, but it is definitely wearable, and only the standard mtm and also the petite one can wear those blue shoes. The set fits a little bit better on a Mengf body because the waist is a bit more cinched and the chest on the body is also bigger. On Mitzi, the top is a little bit loose because she does not have such a big bust like the Mengf, but it is still a nice fit, and sadly, this set does not fit any curvier doll. Next up is this golden mermaid dress, and I paid €1 for it, so that is not a lot, and I'm surprised that it is so nice. The fabric does have some stretch to it, the sewing is good. While I was rubbing on the surface of the fabric, a little bit of the golden color came off, but by far not as much as I would have expected by the low price of the dress. The Velcro is on the lower side of quality, but that's not a big thing. Here you do have it on a standard made to move, and I have to say the fitting is not so nice. The dress is simply a little bit too baggy on this body. The length is okay, but it does not look so good. Here it is on a curvy body, and I have to say this one here looks way better. The fabric is a little bit pulling at the seams, so this is a tight fit, but I think it is still doable and the length of the dress is good. I think you could do a very nice look for a curvy Barbie girl with this dress here. For Mengf, the dress is too wide and also too short. That is absolutely no fit. This is a dress for shorter girls. And as you can see here, also for curvier ones like the 8201. And I think it looks really stunning. The length is good, the fitting is nice. Also, it is not really pulling at the seams, so this here is a very nice fit. The dress would be a little bit too snug on an 8202. You could do that, but then you would risk to pull the seams a little bit too much. And I don't really like this dress, even though it is very affordable. So I think it is very nice and good on the 8201. Actually, I now do regret that I never bought the golden shoe variant of these high heels that you can get for action figure bodies because I always thought that why should I get golden shoes? I don't think I will ever get an outfit for those shoes, but now I have the outfit but not the shoes. That's sad. Maybe next time. The next set is a bit more sporty or maybe casual. This set was way more expensive than the Mermaid dress. I paid €6.50 for it. But the quality of this set is definitely one step higher. I mean, the print on the shirt is not great, it is one of these stickers, but at least it does not have any loose edges. The stitching on this top is really good. I mean, everything is hemmed and even the fabric is heat sealed, so you will not get any loose threads here. The Velcro is not top notch, but still it is a good one. As I said, it is a sticker, not a real good print, but it is one that does not rip apart when you stretch the top a little bit, so that is good. Yeah, the material of the pants is not so nice. I don't know. It is not super bad, but it is this, the material that makes noises when you crumble it, so it is okay. But also here, the stitching is very good, and also the elastic is very well sewn in, so this here is definitely a nice piece. And you will see a lot of different dolls can wear it. Here it is first on a stand-up made to move. I think it looks very cute. The fitting is good. The length of the pants is okay. I think you could pair this set together with a pair of bulky, ugly sneaker and I think it would look really good. And I also think it looks good on a petite made to move. Of course, the top is a little bit baggy, but only a little bit, and the pants are very long, but I think that's also a good look. When it comes to the curvy body, it is sadly not a good fit, at least not for the pants. The top is not a problem, but the pants are simply too short at the waist, and you can see the molded on underwear. Otherwise, in case you do have a body that does not have molded on underwear, I think it is doable, but with that, it does not look so good. On Mengf, the fit is okay, but of course, the pants are a bit on the short side, but because of the cut of the pants, it would be also doable, I think. Maybe with some high heels and not with sneakers, but other than that, I think even this body could wear this set. And surprisingly, this set is also a very nice fit for the WorldBox 8202. I mean, the top here is a good fit on this body here because it does only have the bust with cup B. Other than that, I think it would not be possible to use the top since it is already a snug fit. The pants, I do think, are a very nice fit. The seams are not pulled, and of course, the WorldBox does not have any molded on underwear, so it is okay that the pants sit a little bit lower. They don't sit too low, in my opinion. I do like this look on the 8202 as well, and since she can wear it, every WorldBox can wear it just with a smaller bust like A or B. So now here comes the wrong buy of the day. I don't know. I thought it looks good on the pictures and I was here for the oversized jacket, but now when I can see the set in person, I'm not a big fan. Also this time, I think it is the first time, from this seller at least, I do get an item that was returned by someone. The fabric is really, really black, so I think it is very hard to see on camera, but it is covered in kind of hair, and I don't know if that is doll hair. It definitely does not look like human hair. Maybe it is an animal. I don't know. It looks weird. You cannot see it on camera, so what should I say? I'm not really happy about the set here, also not about the quality. The top is very soft and the stitching is not good. The seam is not really well done, and this is a piece that will stain your doll in seconds. Also, the stockings are not very nice. They do have raw edges, and I have paid a little bit over 14 euros for this set here, and that's a bummer. It is by far not worth that price. The skirt is a bit better. I have skirts like that, and usually you pay maybe 2 euros, a little bit under 2 euros, I think. And yeah, it is a good piece. I think you can even see a little bit of the tiny hair on this fabric a bit better. I don't know. I don't care. It is okay. The jacket is also pretty much disappointing because on the seller pictures I could not see that the material would look so unfinished. Yeah, the color underneath is only one side is finished or only one side is good. The other side is just raw, and in general there are everywhere loose threads, so this is not a very good set, so I do not recommend buying it. Here are the clothes on standard made to move, and as you can see the top is just not very nicely done, so you cannot really tuck in the inner seams because the fabric is so short inside, and yeah, it is not well done. Of course the little Louis Vuitton emblem is just glued on. Yeah, it is not getting better. Here you do have it together with the jacket. Also not a winner. It does not look so good. I don't know what I was thinking when I saw this set. I don't know. Anyway, it is not so good. I hope in the future I will have an opportunity to style a doll with this jacket. Who knows? And I also think the skirt is okay, but the top and the socks are a completely no-go. But still, here you have it on a Mizi body. Also here, the top does not really fit. You can always see the inner part of the fabric. The skirt is a bit loose around the waist, since Mizi does have a very slim waist, and the skirt is more for a wider one. And yeah, here you do have it also with the jacket. And even on the very slim Mitzi doll, this jacket does not look good at all. The cut is not very well done. I know this jacket is supposed to look oversized, and I think I get that from the cut, but still, it is a bit, not only a bit, it is very disappointing. So, next please. This is a simple set, so just a pair of sweatpants and a matching top. It is more like a sweater without arms, and instead it does have a hoodie. The material is thin, it is a cotton feel, and the top does have a tiny application, tiny kind of print on. It is also more on the sticker side, but it is a good one, so also not a super thin one that rips apart easily. The velcro is good. The stitching is also on this piece here very nicely done. The hoodie does have a drawstring that even works. For this set I paid a little bit more than €6. The pants are nothing special, but also here the stitching is really good. The pants do have elastic on the waist and also on the ankles, and everything looks really good. Here you do have the set on a standard made to move. I think the fitting is okay. Maybe the pants are already a little bit short, but that depends on the shoes that you would like to combine with the set, in my opinion. For a petite body it looks a bit oversized, but I think it is doable. I think it looks kind of cute. It does also fit on a curvy body. The pants are not too tight, there is still enough room. The top is a bit snug, but I think it's doable. And this set also fits nicely on the WorldBox 8202, so it would fit on each and every WorldBox, but the top does have its limit. Here you do have it on the B-bust, and that's the biggest one that this top could fit on. But I think here it still looks pretty good. Next up is a single piece, and I wanted to have this for a specific styling. I wonder why there is an M on the packaging, since I was not able to choose from different sizes. And I assume that you can have these mesh tops maybe with different size options on other shops, I don't know. But I was only able to choose the color and not the size. The Velcro of the top is good. It is one of the real good ones, actually. But still, the material of this top here is very fragile, very delicate, so it is still not a good idea to touch the Velcro. The stitching is good, especially for all the holes inside of this fabric, and the material feels very soft. Here you can see it on a stand-up made to move. The fit is okay, it is maybe a little bit loose, but that's not a bad thing, I guess. The mesh does have a stretch to it, so you could also fit this top on a curvy Barbie body and it fits nicely, no problem. No pulling at the seams. I think it also looks quite fine on a Mengf body. The bust is bigger, but the top is able to hug the curves nicely in my opinion. I think it looks pretty good. The shape of the Mizi bust is different from the Mengf one, but still also here I think the top looks quite nice. So I think this is an all-rounder for nearly each and every doll, and even for WorldBox. And I do have a special request for today, so I will style this top on an 8201. And I think the top would be a little bit less risky looking on a smaller bust, but the 8201 does have a C bust. And you can see here, it is still a fit, but not a 100% one. But that's okay, I will not style this top totally alone, so I still like the look. The next item is a Shan Shan Princess dress. I have two outfit sets, this time from Shan Shan Princess. This one here is very similar to some you have seen before. It is again this pink, very chiffon-like fabric, and from the seller pictures, I really like the design of the dress. At the moment, I'm a little bit confused because I have no clue how to wear this dress. I mean, the stitching, the material, everything is okay. It is a nice dress, and I wish they would not sew in the Velcro so snugly because that way the waist is very cinched and you cannot put these clothing on different doll bodies. But I also have to say the way they do that does help you not to cling the Velcro everywhere that it should not be clinged to, if that makes sense. But I was a little bit confused by the organza ribbon that was tied around the top part. The dress also comes with a pair of shoes, a belt, and a clutch. It is a thin belt, and the color matches the dress very well. It is a pleather material, but a good one, I would say. And also the buckle has a very nice golden color, and the length is good. The purse cannot be opened, and I thought the material would be exactly the same as for the golden mermaid dress that you have seen before, but this time I can rub as long as I want over the fabric and no color transfer happens, so this here is in fact a better quality fabric. And also the size of the clutch is pretty nice. And here you can see it at first on Barbie. I thought the organza ribbon is just decoration, so I removed it and then put this sling around the neck, but that way it does not really work. First, how would you do that when a head is on the body? And second, then the top is way too short. So here is the next try. I guess that is how it is supposed to look on a doll. You just take everything off the top and tie the organza in the back of the neck, and this very loose shawl is just hanging down from the front, but you could also wear it over the shoulder. And in general, I think this dress has a few options to wear it if you like to. So overall, this is kind of an interesting dress, but it adds a lot to the figure of the doll because there is just a lot of fabric. And I also do like the little clutch. The color is way different, but it still looks good in my opinion. And as I said, this dress is only for the slim girls since you cannot open it far enough to get it over wider hips. It looks pretty good on the Mengf body since the torso is a little bit longer, also the waist is a little bit more cinched, so the dress does not look that big on this body. The belt is also helping a little bit and it looks quite good in my opinion. Also the underskirt that is sewn in looks good to me. and the dress looks very elegant. I also think that the dress is still long enough. You could see the tip of the toes or the shoes when you dress it on Mengf. Here you do have it on a Mizi body, and on a Mizi body, of course, it also looks quite nice, since this body does have the very slim silhouette. But I don't know if now the dress is already a little bit too short. I would say that depends on the shoe that you would like to wear with this dress, but it is definitely a pretty one. And now comes the last set for today, and I bought the hat separately. So here it is. First, I paid a little bit under €5 for it. It is an interesting hat. It is totally styled after the 50s, like the dress you will see later on. And I guess you would usually attach this hat on a doll with a needle, but I don't want to do it, so I simply will use a doll that does have a little bit of more curly hair so that the hat can stay off on its own. But here you can see it size-wise, how it looks on a Barbie doll. And now to the set. This set here is the most expensive item in this haul. I paid €20 for it. At the moment it is way cheaper, so yeah. The prices are always different on AliExpress. Sometimes you have to pay a little more, sometimes a little bit less. That's how it is. But with this seller here, at least I get free shipping. That is always a plus to me personally. Anyway, this set here is a set that does come in 2 pieces and then plus a pair of ties and shoes. The set itself is very, very nicely done. I have to say, the fabric of the top part feels super nice. This is very high quality. The sewing is awesome and also the lining is great. So the only issue is, even on this black dress, I have this weird hair. Only one this time, so maybe the other set was not a returned item, and at the moment when I ordered my stuff, they had some kind of issue there. I just don't know. Anyway, I have to say this set impresses me quite a bit. I mean, it is not a cheap set, and it will have, or it does have, some downsides. You will see that, but these 2 pieces, the top or jacket and the skirt, are top notch, and usually you would pay way more for this, especially when it would be tailored to your doll, but that's not the case, and you'll see that later on. But overall, this is a very nice set. It is held together by this pleather belt, since the jacket does not have any closure. The buttons are sewn on, and the same as for some other Shan Princess sets you have seen before on this channel. They make it a bit weird in my opinion, because you can see that the buttons are sewn on, but it seems like they stitch on the buttons first and then close up the jacket afterwards. And I don't think that I have seen that on doll clothing before. But it's not so important, it's just a little detail. Since it is a real black outfit, I don't know if you can see the details that well, but I really have to say that the sewing on the top is very well done. So I'm really impressed, I have to say that. I'm not so impressed by the tights and the shoes. The shoes, you know them, they are standard. You can see them so many times, and I will not use them for the styling. And the tights to give me a headache, because what is that? Why are these tights so damn long? I mean, the material is nice. It is this very stiff and plasticky material, and when it comes to tights, I do appreciate that kind of fabric, since usually it does not stain your doll. But the size is super odd. Here you can see it in comparison to the standard longer tights that you have seen maybe in a video that I made. Those tights are great on taller dolls, and even when you stretch those tights out, they are still not long enough to reach the bottom of the included black tights, and I think that's pretty weird. Here you do have it on the stand-up made to move, and the tights do not fit. You cannot get them on completely, and of course they are way too long, so absolutely no fit. On Mengf, there's also no fit, since I cannot get the tights over the bigger booty, and even if I would get them on, they would be too long. On Mizi, I can get them on. They do not fit well, they are a little bit loose and also way too long. And you cannot hide the length with those shoes since the tights do not have any stretch. So they are just loose, too long, they don't fit. And they would also not fit on a Chan Chan Princess doll since the Chan Chan Princess does have shorter legs than Mizi and Mengf. So I have absolutely no clue for what kind of doll these tights are made for. I cannot use them. I think they're nicely done. I like that they are stitched in the back. That's a very nice look overall, but they don't fit, and that does not make sense to me. Also, now it gets a little bit complicated when you would like to wear this set on a standard made to move Barbie. The skirt does not really can be closed completely. Not sure if you can see that really good because this is so black. Anyway, the waist of the standard made to move is a little bit too thick for the skirt. Here together with the jacket it is okay. The sleeves of the jacket are too long and overall the jacket is a bit oversized. There is a big bump of fabric in the back, so this set is simply not for made to move or the standard made to move. And on the tall it would also not work since the torso is longer but the waist is not cinched, so this is not a dress for Barbie made to move at all. And it even gets a bit complicated on Mengf. Of course, the jacket does have a design, so it is not overlapping one side to the other. It is just very slim together and you have nothing underneath, so it is a bit complicated. And also here you do have a lot of fabric in the back that does not look super good. Maybe they did it that way so you can wear something underneath. I don't know. And also, this skirt is very transparent and I don't have the tights to go under this. So, I don't know, it does not look so great. Even though this is a beautiful and very well made dress, it does not look as good as it could look. Same goes for Mizi, since the measurements are similar to the Mengf body, just that Mizi is slimmer, so again we do have a lot of extra fabric at the back. Now the jacket does have a little bit more room since there is not a lot of body underneath it. You can see the shape quite good here and it is a very nicely tailored jacket, but I'm not quite sure which doll they had in mind, since I know for a fact that also the Chan Chan Princess doll is not as big as the Mengf, for example, and I think this jacket is made for a torso that does have wider shoulders, so you would not have this bump of fabric in the back, and also it needs a more cinched waist, or maybe a little bit more cinched. I guess wider shoulders would be the key, and maybe a torso that is a tiny bit longer. So, I don't have that, and as I said, that would also not be the case for a Chan Chan Princess doll, so this is a so well made dress. And maybe the ambition was a little bit too high even for this company, since actually, I think if you would buy this dress here tailored for any kind of body, you would have to pay way more. So I have to say the quality of the jacket is so much nicer than everything that I have seen from Mattel Barbie in years, even though I do have a few sets of the Barbie style fashion, and I have to say this here is nicer. Just the fit is not perfect and I'll make the best out of it. First, I do need something that will go under jacket and skirt, since the skirt is just too sheer. You can look right through it, and that's not a good look for this outfit in my opinion. And also, as I said, the jacket cannot be closed only by the belt, so it's not bad to have something underneath it. I do have this dress here, or this skirt. It is an awful set. It comes with a tube top. I bought the set at least 2 years ago. It is not available anymore, but I was able to find the picture for it and it looks wild. When I bought it, I planned to use it separately, so you have seen this top quite often when I have shown WorldBox, since it looks okay. It does have raw edges, so this set was only definitely way under €2, and I was not very impressed by it, and I didn't expect it. But the fabric of the skirt, so it is usually a skirt with this very weird ribbon, is not bad. The cut is not perfect, and I never used it before, but I guess now it's time. It is not made to be worn over the bust, but underneath the jacket you cannot see it, and I think it is not bad lengthwise, and also the black is also very strong and dark, and I think it fits. Here you can see it already underneath the dress or the outfit. I decided to take this doll for the styling because of her hair, so she can balance the head. This Cinderella head is on a bigger Mengf torso, so her waist is a little bit less cinched. I kept the jacket a little bit open here, but later on I will close it a little bit more, but I wanted to show you how far the underskirt or underdress now sits underneath, and the more important part is that now the skirt is not so sheer. It does give the doll a way better look. And in general, because this dress is so dark, she does have a very strong classic Black Widow vibe. I mean, this is a dress that would usually be worn with gloves, but when it comes to dolls, most of the time they are mittens and not really gloves. So, I don't know, if you do have black colored or black painted hands, I think they would really look good together with this dress. But I don't have it, and I still think it looks very nice. But before we come to the styling, there is another doll that needs a bit more stuff for the styling. And since it is a new piece, I will also show you this one a little bit more up close. It is a bra that I bought for action figure dolls, and I'm also interested to know if it would fit fashion dolls as well. I paid €9 for this bra in total. It is not from the same seller as all the rest that you have seen, but I will also include the link to this piece in case you're interested. And in general, all the links I always provide in my description. I'm not affiliated with AliExpress in any way. I do not take part in the influencer system, so I buy all the stuff by myself, and I just want you to know where I got the stuff and what I paid for it. But of course, as always, I think you should do your own research. Maybe you get the stuff somewhere else cheaper, and maybe you like another seller better, and that is totally fine to me. So you have seen this bra, and here you have it on Barbie. Sadly, it does not fit. I think the little hook is made out of plastic. I would have loved to see that it is made out of metal. I'm still not quite sure if it is metal or just plastic, but as long as it does not break off, I'm fine with it. Here you do have it on Mengf, and on Mengf it does fit way better. You could totally get away with it. I think this is a bra that you could use for different stylings, and also this bra comes in different colors. I also do have the pink or dusty rose colored one, so I'm sure you will see that later in another video. And also here it is on WorldBox, because that was the intention for buying the bra. And it is, to be honest, a snug fit. The chest of the WorldBox is, I guess, a little bit larger than, for example, of most of the seamless bodies, but it is still doable, and I need that for the styling that I had in mind. And here you go. First is our Black Widow. I think that's now how I call her, and I think she looks stunning. As I said, the jacket does not fit any of the dolls perfectly, but it really looks good, especially from the front, and the back is not so important in my opinion. This is a very pretty set, and I will just forget about the tights and yeah, the shoes that I have, I don't know. I don't know how many of these shoes I do own, but sometimes when nothing helps, these shoes are okay, but I didn't use them for the styling. She's wearing very open shoes, so this is absolutely not 50s. But I thought because the dress is so black and so dense that I thought it looks a little bit better when she does have open toes, so the leg is a little bit longer. And for today, we have a double feature for the purple hair ordeal. I think the one on the standard made to move looks really cute in this free gift outfit. I like the color scheme and the seashells. I think she looks cute. I also do really like the casual outfit on the 8202. And on the 8201, we can see the top together with the bra and a very Y2K skirt again and these fluffy leg warmers. I think that the Odir face is a little bit tiny and round for the WorldBox, but I have to say she looks really cute, so maybe I have to change my mind. She is a very cute version, and I do like the head on the standard made to move. I also like it here on the WorldBox, and I had it before on Mengf as well. I don't know which one I like the most, but it is very nice to have options body-wise. And here you also have the pink dress, and it looks really nice with a bit styling and accessories. So that's again the end of the video. This was also not a short one. And I hope you have seen something that you liked and maybe you were interested in when you saw it on AliExpress and whatever Chinese website you like to buy from. I have to say thank you for watching this video and I hope to see you next time. Until then, have a great time. Bye!